Hey guys, and welcome back to week 11 of building UMBARA in Lego. So this week I kind of did a bit of everything. I worked on the tower, as you can see in the control room. I worked on kind of the floor of the base, even the UMBARA and Starfighter a bit. I wasn't quite able to finish the control tower like I said I wanted to in last week's episode, but just mostly because I kind of struggled with the design throughout this week. I'll kind of go through that in this week's update, but overall, I'm really happy with all the other progress that we were able to get done in this week. So first thing for this week is that I did get a brick order in, so let me show you what arrived. So we finally got the brick order that I have been waiting for to finish off the tower and some additional parts to finish off the building. But first off, we have this bag of a ton of 1x2 curved slopes in light bluish gray. This one we have a bunch of 1x2 tiles in light bluish gray, along with these mechanical arms in dark blue, which are going to be for the Banshees. And the final bag here, we have a bunch of brackets, 1x1 and 1x2 brackets. We got some of these 1x3 panels, and some cabinet doors. So that's everything in this Brinkley order. So now it's finally time to do a time lapse of me finishing off the tower. Alright, so we've completely finished, or nearly completely finished, the entirety of the tower. There's a few things. I did run out of these 1x2 panel pieces in light bluish gray. I was missing 4 of them, so I need to order 4 more of those. I was almost exactly right on how many I needed. For everything else, I was pretty dead on, except for these clip pieces. I ordered way too many of those clip pieces. I have no idea why, but overall, for the most part, I love how this looks. There's one thing, it's kind of curves outwards like there. I think I might know why. I need to mess with that a little bit, but after I mess with that and fix that, it's time to start on the control room. And for the control room, I am thinking about possibly incorporating lights into it. So I have the official Lego lights here, and it should be able to fit in the control room. I just need to figure out a way to access it. But that'll be interesting to light that up. And then I want to have for the window, of course it's going to be after Krell has jumped out of the window and onto the battlefield. And then at the window, I want to recreate that shot with Rex, Fives, and Jesse as they're looking out the window at the battle that's going on at the bottom. But I think the shaping of the control room is going to be a fun challenge, so I'm going to have to figure out a way to attach it. I do have the flex tube that's sticking out a little bit. I'll probably either just cut that, or I'm going to build around it. Or maybe I'll even attach the building with the flex tube. I don't know. I'll figure out something on how to attach the control room. I want to probably have it removable from the actual tower, just like the tower is removable from the building for transportation. So yeah, it's going to be a fun challenge. So I'm going to start working on the probably window area first. Here are a few of the techniques I'm planning to use for the control room. Here's kind of like what I have for the base of it, kind of this rounded structure, which I think turned out well, making some hinge plates. I think it and some slopes on the side. I like how that turned out, so that just kind of sits in right on the top of the tower. Now for the window, you can see that it is curved on the front, so I was trying to mess with how we could get this curved. Basically, I'm using, you know, the 1x1 round studs with some plates to get a rounded window, and I think it turned out pretty well. Obviously, it's smashed in the front, so I tried to capture that. Probably been making some changes to that, but that's kind of what I'm thinking for the shape of the window. Now on the side, you can see there are a few overhangs, and this is what I was thinking on how to do that with the arch piece, and then the plates kind of just stuck inside the arch. I think it turns out well. I'll just probably put that on the side. I think that could work. And then I'm thinking on the sides, possibly using some of these rounded dish pieces just right on the sides, I think could work for that. And on the top, I was messing around with this. I've seen some people use this for like bricks, a rounded brick structure, but I think it could work for the top of it, just the very top, and do something else for the rest of it. Basically just using those hinges and bracket pieces and the 1x2 tiles. So I think that could work for the top. I'll have to mess with that some more. But yeah, I'm gonna try to get a final design for the window and kind of the front area, and make sure that the figures are able to kind of look out and are able to kind of fit, and it looks good and accurate to the actual scene. Okay, so I'm struggling a little bit with the shaping of the control room up here. So I'm really happy with how the window design turned out, and how it's, you know, smashed, and you have Rex, Jesse, and Fives over there looking out the window. I think that turned out great. Now, when it comes to the overall shaping of it, I wanted a rounded front, and you can see what I did here. I made use of the 1x2 rounded plates. Now, I'm not a big fan with how that looks, so I was thinking, okay, well, what if I had like a bar piece right here and I connected these road signs to it to cover it up, and that works, but they do not make this road sign piece in light bluish gray. So I looked at other road signs, and I found the triangular ones, which would work. You know, put one up right that way, and then upside down, then back up like this, all the way across, and that would work. But this clip piece is not the same as the other one, as this one right here. So this one is not actually able to reach the bar, but they do make this road sign with the other clip piece that can reach the bar. So I'm going to order some of those and hopefully cover up the rounded plate sections, and that should look better. Now over here, I'm not a big fan with how this turned out. I used the same technique over here for this rounded overhang right here to try to get the same one you can see over there, which I think kind of works. Obviously I need to order a bunch more parts in light bluish gray, but I'm not the biggest fan with the entire shaping of it. But I think I have an idea for how I can fix this. Basically, I took a bit of inspiration from the helmet sets, right? So how they got the dome top right here. They have first this kind of rounded smooth section on the top, and then they have the plates right here to get rounded sides. So I'm thinking, okay, so what if I do in the middle of the top, use this technique right here, and then on the sides of it, do something that's brick built. I think that could work. I could incorporate a bit into here, and then just have the overhang kind of lay on top of it. Obviously I need to test this out, kind of figure it out if this will work, and I'll update you when I made some progress. Okay, so I'm actually gonna end up taking a break from working on the control room, because I'm really struggling with how I want this design to work out for the kind of the top dome area of this room, and I'm not really happy with anything that I've made so far. So I'm going to take a break from this. Instead, I'm going to focus on the UMBARA and Starfighter a bit more, and hopefully something will come to me on how I can complete this control room. This is what I have going on for the UMBARA and Starfighter right now. As you can see, it's very colorful. I don't have the right parts in with the right colors yet, but you can see that I kind of scaled it out. I did do the math to figure out what the size of this vehicle would be in minifigure scale. So that would just be if a figure was 6 feet high, how big would the Starfighter be in comparison to a figure, and just did some simple math. So I basically, laid out the plates right here to get the length, and I got the height. This is in the flight form, not the landed position. But I couldn't find the wingspan of it anywhere. So that I'm just going to have to guess for that. So you can see that I am building in brown. I ultimately decided that I think I do want to go with brown as the main color, because I do think that's more accurate. Even though it may be difficult because there's less pieces available in that color, I do think that brown ultimately is going to be better looking out. So I think it'll add a greater contrast to the overall build itself. So I redesigned the front gun portion a little bit. A few parts that weren't available in brown, so you can see what I did there. And then this, I include this, I'm not sure what this piece is called, but I use this for like whatever the kind of guardrail thing that kind of, you can see right there, it comes up around the ray shield. I don't really know what's supposed to be. It's a little high in comparison to where it's supposed to be. But I guess I can just kind of push it right down and then it's in a more accurate position. But when it's upright, it closes the gap, you can see. So that's why I kind of had it up further up. So I might keep it like that. I don't know, we'll figure it out. So I messed with a lot of different kind of angles in the back here. You can see how I attached this little panel right here. I just used ball joints. This just slides in right here, making use of some panels. There are a few angles I need to change, like the back. It's supposed to be kind of angled this way, so I do need to mess with that a little bit. Now in terms of the wings, so right now I have them connected to clips, the bars on clips, which will allow me to move them because when it is flying, it's in a different position than when it is landed, and the wings kind of move. Now how those wings actually move is very interesting. I did some research. I found this. So this explains that the flexible wings suggest a beyond galactic standard technology levels of the UMBARANs. So not even the people who designed the ship know how the wings move. They just are somehow flexible. So I had to figure out, okay, well, how am I going to do that? Clip and bar pieces are probably the easiest way. I do want to try to cover up the bars. I'm not sure exactly how I'm going to do that yet, but I'm going to focus on the main body first. So I'm pretty happy with most of this, how this has turned out. I did forget that I have to include a landing gear at the bottom. That kind of comes out of the bottom right there. You might be able to see right there, landing gear. So I will either redesign it to include that, or I might just attach it and then have to detach it when it's in flying mode. And then maybe in a future version of this vehicle, I might include where it is able to be retracted. But overall, I'm pretty happy with how this has turned out so far. Obviously, it's very colorful, so it doesn't look great right now, but once it's all in the right color, it should look good. So it has been pretty challenging to get some of these angles, but overall, I'm pretty happy with it. So I finally got in that last Bricklink order that I was waiting for. So I'm going to show you what arrived, and then hopefully we can work more on the floor of the base. All right, so starting off, I got a ton of these 2x2 corner tiles. I didn't have any of these in dark bluish gray, so it's good to have a lot of these now. Got a bunch of 2x2 tiles in dark bluish gray, a bunch of 1x2 tiles, large bag of 2x4 tiles. Got quite a few of these ingot pieces in dark bluish gray, 2x3 tiles, a bunch of these brackets, which are for the blue line, a ton of these cabinet doors, and I also got 2 of these 32x32 light bluish gray base plates. I mentioned I needed 2 of these in the previous week, so glad those arrived. So that means I can start working on the middle portion if I wanted to. And actually, my friend Cosmic from CMB Studios, he let me purchase some of his dark blue pieces that I can utilize in the mock. So we got just bags of random dark blue pieces. I really like these tree leaves in dark blue. Those are really cool. But a lot of just various generic pieces that'll be good for the any dark blue portions that I need. He got me a pretty decent deal on it, so thanks again. It'll definitely be useful in the build. All right, so this is what I'm thinking for right now for kind of the top design and kind of the sides. You can see I did make use of this one technique to get the very smooth middle portion of it. But over on the side of it, I decided to kind of go with a bunch of curved slopes on the sides, kind of just gradually going downwards, which I think gives a nice effect for the top of it. Now when it comes to kind of the side, I did get the kind of overhang right here, making use of that arch piece. I do feel like over here is a little flat. I wish it was a little bit rounded, but with making use of that arch piece to get the overhang, it wasn't really possible to make it any more rounded. And then I just have more curved slopes over here to get more rounded design on the side. I do have some transparent pieces there to kind of signify like a window, although I'm not really sure what's supposed to be underneath the overhang sections because you can't really see it in any of the episodes or the concept art. So I just kind of guessed that was like a window, just like on the actual design with the overhang over here. It's below it is a window. So I just thought, okay, there's probably windows under those overhangs as well. So this does mean that I'm probably gonna have to redesign the window design that I have, because it's obviously just too big to fit over in here. But it's a shame because I really do like the shaping of this window design. I just didn't like, the rounded plates. So it is good that I probably will end up getting rid of those rounded plates, just using more of these kind of curved slopes to get a more rounded feel to it, which I definitely think will give it a more kind of organized look to it, because it definitely did feel messy. Even with the road signs being on it, I do think it would have looked pretty messy. So I think this is going to be a better way to go about it, but this is going to be all the progress that I can make on the control room for this week. That's going to be it for this week of building UMBARA. Like I said, I'm sad that I wasn't able to finish the control room. Hopefully next week I will at least get a design down for the entirety of the control room. Probably won't be able to get the parts in time to complete it, but definitely will hopefully get the design down. I'm also planning on completely finishing the other base plate for the floor of the base. I think that's feasible, and then maybe work a bit on the UMBARA and Starfighter as well. This definitely felt like a slower week, definitely because I struggled so much with the design for the control room. But I think that's important for everyone to know that your first design is never going to be the best. You definitely should keep iterating on that design to make it the best that can possibly be. But thank you so much for watching this week of Building UMBARA. Have a great day. Goodbye.